the more you improve yourself, the more impact that you can have on a greater scale, on a grander scale, on a larger group of people, which can have a huge societal impact. And the most obvious example I could think of in this context would be Elon Musk. Now, I understand that that's a politically charged thing to say nowadays, but I'm not even talking about his political stance at all. I'm not talking about the election or any of those things. I'm just talking about Elon as a whole. Most people, including me, if they built and sold PayPal to eBay when they were 29 years old and exited with a net worth of 9 figures. I mean, I want to say it was over $100 million that Elon made in the PayPal deal when they sold to eBay. At 29, 100 million in the bank, most people are parking that cash, they're making some angel investments, and they're chilling. You know, that's generational wealth, over $100 million when you're 29. As long as you don't squander it and piss it all away, you know, you put that in some really smart investments that are really low risk. You're taken care of for the rest of your life, and so are your kids, and so are your kids' kids. However, Elon didn't stop there. He decided to make huge societal impacts and continued to improve himself and to stretch his limits. And then he built Tesla. And the first Tesla that he built wasn't a smashing success. It was the Roadster, and it was very high ticket. It was, 6-figure vehicle that was basically built for the elites in LA. And very few people had one. And it took him years to get a manufacturing supply chain up to be able to build the Model S, which was still a 6-figure vehicle, but then started to eventually make its way a little bit more mainstream, and then came up with the X, and then came up with the 3, and then came up with the Y, and now Tesla is what it is today. But what a lot of people don't know is that both Tesla and SpaceX were actually about to go bankrupt back in 2007-ish, I believe, 2008, around the financial crisis. And Elon took money from his own personal bank account, his own personal net worth, to plow into both of those companies. So he risked personal bankruptcy after being worth 9 figures to keep both of these companies alive, instead of doing what most people would have done, which is the quote unquote prudent decision, which was just pouring the capital into one of those ventures and letting one of them die. But instead, he took his own personal capital and put it into both of the companies, kept them both alive. And now SpaceX has done something incredible. That regardless of what side of the political aisle you're on, you can't help but respect the ingenuity and the innovation that SpaceX has been able to achieve now. And then for Tesla to be able to literally shift the entire economy to go from gas cars to electric vehicles. Tesla single-handedly changed the landscape of that. Before Tesla, the best model of a green energy vehicle was the Prius. It was not cool to have a Prius. Now all of a sudden, with the Cybertruck and the Model S and how fast they are, and like he changed the entire landscape of vehicle production to move from gasoline engines to electric engines. And my point is that he in a moment of the pinnacle of what somebody's career would be, which is selling PayPal at 29 years old, he didn't just stop there. He continued to improve himself and challenge himself, put himself in positions where he was almost bankrupt, just so he could get these huge ideas for change for society out into the world. And it's benefited him greatly, and it's benefited society at large greatly. And again, this is not a political statement. I'm not coming out to say that, oh, he made societal gains for a political campaign, although that's true for his particular viewpoint. But even if you disagree with him, it should still be a case study to look at what he did in terms of improving himself to get to the point where he could have that big of an impact on society at large, to push his vision for what the future really meant. And I think if more people adopted this sense of social and personal responsibility improvement, that society at large would be impacted by that. And look, odds are you're not Elon Musk. Okay, neither am I. nor do I want to be, frankly. And frankly, and I don't even think it's possible for most people. Like the dude is a special once in a generation type of a person. There's only a few of those types of people that come along. But if you improve yourself, what does that do for your immediate relationships? What does that do for your immediate circle? Your friends, your kids, your spouse, the people who spend the most time with you. If you are constantly improving yourself, then the people around you can't help but improve. It will make large impacts on the society that you've built around you, on your social structure. It can't help but do those things.